Hello, at first I'd like to welcome you all in this tutorial on how to build up your resume. We're gonna start by splitting the screen into two sides. On the right side you can see my CV. I have built up my CV. It's over here. These are my information. And on the left side I'm gonna teach you how to build up your resume based on the international templates and based on the international requirements in order for you to apply for a scholarship, to apply for universities, in order to apply for acceptance letter, or if you want to apply for a certain job. Of course, you must have a resume. As you can see here, this is my CV on the right. It's formed of 4 pages. So let's start by showing you which form exactly you should be working off. Here, as you can see here, we have this title which is called Europass. If we start by typing this word here, Europass, into Google search, we'll be able to see Europass Home. This is the website that we are going to build up our resume on it. If you can see here, we have this selection, which is create your CV plus cover letter online. So we will press it. So we will wait for a second and it's launching. So you have to understand that building up your resume based on international templates is an essential factor in having an acceptance letter from a university or being accepted in a job or in a scholarship. So here, as you can see, my resume is already built over here on the right. So we're gonna erase all the information, the previous information. So if you have a look here, we have some sections. It's the first section, curriculum vitae, the attachments, language passport, cover letter. We are concerned mainly about this in the middle, which is the section that you are going to fill out your information. So we will start by the personal information. So we start by pressing fill in. Here, as you can see here, we have a section for your name. Of course, you can write your name as like this. My name is Anwar, my surname is Gilan, and the address, street address. So here, based on the street address, it depends on your location actually. So you can write like, for example, building num, which is building num. We have to make it as capital letter. Building num, which is my building number 124, and the apt, which is the apartment 5, and the street we have to make a comma over here, then L HAW Al Hawuz Street, Hawuz Street, full stop, then comma. This is the street mainly. Then we can write the city, which is Can Yunis. Okay, then full stop. So here we have a postal code. It depends. Like for example, if you're living in Palestine, I'm living in Palestine, so I'm gonna write, let's say Gaza postal code. Gaza postal code. We will wait a second. Then you will have a link for Gaza postal code. This postal code they require it to deliver you mail or anything else. So this is it, 79702. So we will write it here, 79702, and the city which we are living in, it's Gaza, and for the country it's Palestine. It's Palestine. So move on here. We finish with the country section. The telephone number you have to write as it depends. Like you can write home, work, as you like. So here you have to know that you are dealing with the international companies. Maybe they are outside of Palestine. Maybe they are in UK, in USA, in Europe. So you have to write the introduction for your country code. We call it. For example, here in Palestine we have +970 597 597-848-5030. This is my phone number. Move on to your email address, which is an extremely important point, because in your email address, this is the address that they are going to contact you on. So gmail.com. You have to make sure that your email address specifically is correct, because all the international companies, they contact you via mail. They do not call your phone number, they contact you only by mail. Here we have the website. In case if you have a website, you can write it down. Instant messages, provider, these we don't need these fields, so you write save. Okay. These are mainly the basic information. Then move on to the type of application, fill in. For example, here we have job applied for, position, preferred job, uh, studied applied for, personal statement. Let's say job applied for, description, like for example, English language, teacher, English language teacher. So this is the job I'm applying for as an English language teacher. Then you have the section work experience. So for the work experience section, have a look here. I'm gonna split the screen. Work experience section here. At first, this is part of my CV. Yeah? You will have to fill out your work experience. You will start from the day that you started the job, then the month, then the year. For example, let's say the 3rd of February in 2018, for example, to the 4th of September 2019. For example, if you worked for almost 7-8 months. So the date format, I prefer to keep this format because it's mainly basically it's simple to understand. It doesn't cause any confusion. So occupation or position held, you can write here as an English language teacher. English language teacher has to be small letter. Teacher, English language teacher. Here for the name, the employer's name. You have to write your employer's name. Your employer's name, for example, here my employer was Al-Rafidain International School. So I'm gonna just copy paste it here. For the city, I worked in Ankara, and for the country, it was. You can choose it from the list, or you can write it down, like Turkey, for example. So move on here. Then this is a very important section, which is the main activities and responsibilities. You have to make sure that this part contains the basic duties that you were held to during the time you worked at that institution. So here you will have I prefer that you write it as points. For example, point number 1, teaching at Cambridge International Education School. So I'm gonna just copy paste it like this. One is next one we have here, using Cambridge Global English Curriculum. Okay, then you have to make sure that the punctuation marks are correct. So move on to the third one, which is teaching stage 6, for example, 7 and 8. So I'm gonna copy paste it here. So these are just 3 main duties that I was supposed to do during my time at the institution. So you write save. Okay, so now the work experience section is done. So of course, if you have more work experience, you have to add it over here. So here we have I held many positions like an English language. For all of them, mostly were an English language teacher, and of course, every single time you enter a work experience, you have to make sure that the dates, the format is correct, the dates are correct, and correspond with your certificates, because in each experience certificate that you have from an institution, it has, of course, a starting date and an end date. So this is mainly you complete your work experience, move on to the education and the training, your education training. For example, move on here to my section on the right. Yes, I have a high school certificate, which is in my country. It's called Tawjihi. you have to start from the from your previous certificates until the recent certificates. For example, here, high school certificate توجيهي. Basically, you're just gonna press and fill in and complete these information according to your own certificates. For the dates, it doesn't have to be quite correct here in this section because of course you don't know when did you start your high school certificate unless it's viewed or it's a newer certificate. So of course you will have the graduation date, but you won't have the start date. So you can just speculate a date that you have started your certificate and fill out your education, high school certificate, your bachelor degree, your master degree. Then move on to the personal information. Here we have the mother tongue. Of course, my mother tongue is Arabic, so I will fill out using the word Arabic. You will find it in the selections as Arabic. For languages, English, Turkish, whatever languages you have. Communication skills. Here, move on to the communication skills. Okay, here, for the communication skills, actually, this part can be quite tricky. I wrote excellent communication skills gained through working with different staff members and students. Professional communication skills gained through long time experience in teaching all ages. So you can basically you can write any communication any communication skills that you think that you have. You can just make up some skills or real skills that you already have or you think that you have. And please pay attention to this point that for the certificate for this communication skills section and for all the sections actually you have to make sure that your spelling is correct because the employer if you have a weak spelling it means that you're not good in English, and English is a main requirement for everything as we know. Communication skills, organizational managerial skills. Here I wrote organize and prioritize personal schedule, successfully working to match strict deadlines, with the school license with the school principal or the director regarding day-to-day issues. So you can like search out some templates and copy paste some of these managerial skills. For the job related skills, we have a training English course using various methods and techniques. You have to write some skills that were related to your position, the position that you held in that institution during your work experience. So here we have the digital skills. Digital skills, it's a very important point. So you have to fill out here. You will have a section for information processing. You can write professional user, independent user, proficient user, professional. I wrote in professional user for all of them because actually I'm quite good at digital skills. Digital skills, it means computer skills actually. So, and also you can write some additional information here. I wrote a professional user of Microsoft Office, touch typing speed 62 per word per minute, sorry. Good command of photo and article editing, and we have converting file formats. So, just a small tip, please make sure that every single information here in your CV matches the work experience certificates that you have, because sometimes the employers ask you for these certificates. If you don't have these certificates, and actually if you made up some work experiences, you're gonna be interviewed after being accepted in for an interview in a job, for a job that you applied for or a scholarship. They may ask for these certificates, so try to make sure that they are correct. So this is basically how to build up your CV. And of course, I forgot a very important point, which is here. One second here. After filling this personal information, here you have a section on the right called photo. So you will have to choose a photo from your device. For example, I'm gonna choose one here from my personal documents. Here you have my photo, so I'm gonna choose it. Says here max size 1 megabyte. Ah, and please make sure that your personal picture is gonna be with a white background, and it doesn't have any like strange moves or any strange expressions. Don't appear laughs or sadness remarks or something like that. Just make it formal as much as you can, because the first thing that the viewer or the employer have a look on it is your picture. Do not make a CV without having a personal picture or without adding a personal picture, because it's extremely important. And thank you so much. I'm gonna press save here. So this is gonna be my CV. This is my previous CV. So as you can see here, it's in a organized format, and there is the language section actually. I already talked about, but one more time. For the language sections, do not write that you have this language unless you have, for example, I speak English, Arabic, I know Turkish, so I didn't write C2, for example, in Turkish. I wrote just B1, A2, 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 and A1 for the other skills. And Hebrew, actually, I had some courses in Hebrew, like way in the past, but I can speak Hebrew a little bit. So thank you so much for watching this video, and I wish to see you in the upcoming videos. And I forgot to mention one point, which is after filling out all of this information, you have to press this word, which is a preview. If you press the preview, as you can see here, you will have your CV to view, and you can press, of course, download. Then you can download it on any in any folder that you want. On, for example, on desktop. Here you can open it. One second. Because we didn't fill out the most of the information, but if you filled it out, you will have a full resume with a nice template that an employer hopefully will hire you for the position that you are applying for. Thank you so much for watching my video, and please be tuned for my next episode, for my next tutorials. Thank you so much. Bye bye.